Hi all. They say circle is a mystical figure. Circle is planar by definition. Circle is closed. Circle is convex. Circle is the simplest of the regular curves. That is why we study the motion on circle immediately after studying motion on straight line. Many things in nature like sun, moon, human eyelids, many fruits appear as circles. We all know the shape of even man made wheel which shaped civilizations. History could not assign definite authorship to wheel. Even in art, circle is employed to make things appear beautiful. Circle connotes uniform repetition, and all periodic motions in nature is tried to be expressed in terms of circle, including vibrations. When something repeats, we say it is cyclical or circular. One of the only two instruments that are allowed for making geometric constructions is compass, and that is for making circles. The other instrument is for constructing lines. Line and circle are the only two things which Euclid took as axioms and built his whole geometry on them. Euclid deals with circle in book 3. The structure of book 3 is 11 definitions and 37 propositions. The definitions cover all basic terms like chord, tangent, arc, segments, minor and major, touching circles, intersecting circles, etc. The 37 proposition lists all the basic properties of circle. I shall give the central ones. Proposition 1 is locating the center of a given circle. Proposition 2 in a way informs that circle is convex. Proposition 3 says that line which bisects a chord can only be a line through the center of the circle and perpendicular to it. This fact has certain consequences like if two chords not through center intersects, none can bisect each other. Proposition 10 says that two circles cannot meet in more than 2 points. Proposition 17 is drawing tangent from a given external point. This establishes the tangent at a point to a circle is unique. Proposition 18 says that tangent of a circle at a point is perpendicular to the radius at that point. Proposition 2021 says that angle at the center of a circle is double the angle in a segment and therefore angles in the same segments are equal. This fact has 3 configurations. Proposition 22 says opposite angles in cyclic quadrilateral are supplementary. Some words are needed here. Cyclic quadrilateral is necessarily convex. Ivan Chen says that hardly there is any Olympiad geometry problem which does not involve cyclic quadrilateral. He says that a convex quadrilateral can be shown to be cyclic in 2 ways. Proposition 21 and Proposition 22. Also note that while there is always a circle touching all sides in a circle, it is not the case with every convex quadrilateral. Condition for the existence of a circle that touches all the sides of a quadrilateral called incircle is given by Pitot and is called Pitot's theorem. Proposition 31 says angle in a semicircle is right, angle in minor segment is obtuse and angle in major segment is acute. Proposition 32 is the alternate segment theorem. Ivan Chen says this theorem is alone sufficient to determine whether a line at a point on a circle is tangent or not. Propositions 35, 36 and 37 gives the 3 cases of the secant theorem. The secant theorems can be proved by similarity of triangles. These are the core facts of book 3. I shall now give the possible relative positions of two circles and the common tangents possible. If two congruent circles are given, there are 4 possibilities. They are coincident or intersecting or touching or non-intersecting. We can imagine the common tangent in each of these cases. All the common tangents here are so-called direct common tangents. If two non-congruent circles are given, there are 6 possibilities. 3 internal cases and 3 external cases. The 2 kinds of tangents in all the cases can be clearly imagined. The labels for all these 10 cases are given in terms of the radii of the two circles and the distance between the two centers. The lengths of the two kinds of common tangents are obtained by spotting the similar triangles along the points of intersection of the common tangents called centers of similitude, internal and external. In the next talk, I shall be discussing the special lines and special circles in and around a triangle, a topic that needs very careful organization because of its importance as well as size. In another talk, I shall be defining the power of a point with respect to a circle and see its consequences. I shall also discuss so-called circular mappings. In the end, I shall take circles onto the Cartesian plane. Thank you.